Let's talk about what happens to mind after death. And I say after death in quotations because if you watch any of my videos, you know how I feel about the concept of death. But let's talk about whether or not mind is separate from awareness in the first place. And if there's a chance maybe it doesn't expand all the way back into the whole after death. And maybe just contracts back into itself and could mingle with, its loved one again and be reborn again later on down the road. I say that because there's some great non-dual teachers like Rupert Spira who might comfort people that come to him and ask him questions by insisting that there's a possibility after death the mind may not expand all the way back, right? That you may could see this loved one again.
So what appears to be the death of the body, from a first-person perspective, is the decontraction, the expansion, the relaxation of this localization. But there's nothing to suggest that that expansion of this localization takes place completely. There's nothing to suggest that it dissolves completely. It could simply expand, decontract, but not go all the way back. And it's even possible that it could expand and coalesce again downstream and form another localization.
And he's doing that to comfort them, I understand that, but let's understand what mind is. Mind and awareness are not two separate things, right? Mind is simply the activity of awareness. You can recognize how a thought is arising in your awareness, right? It's like how on a TV screen, the image arises on the TV screen, but it's not separate from the TV screen. The TV screen being awareness, the image is that activity being thought in this analogy. They are non-dual in that way. It's like when you're at work and you're just thinking to yourself, and you've been thinking so long, it becomes a reality, what we call a daydream, right? So everything in that dream is just the activity of that awareness, right? The tables, the chairs, the dream character in your daydream, all of it is just the activity of the one awareness, right? And we call that mind. So mind and awareness in the first place are not two. I also disagree with doing this to comfort people because that just becomes a device like what religion is, in the sense that you're not really facing impermanence or your own fears of death, right? You're not really having this recognition that, oh, I am awareness and that is the whole. Oh, the mind is just an activity of awareness. Now, you can have that recognition, and like in a dream, when you recognize, oh, I'm just dreaming, you have this kind of salvation, right? That, oh, I'm not just this dream character. I'm limitless. That's what you take away from them in that sense. You give them that device and they're comforted within that moment when they're in front of you, maybe for weeks or months after that. But there's going to be a time when they're a mind about it again, and they suffer deeply over that. Because they haven't recognized themselves just how the mind and awareness are not two. And just how we don't have our own awareness inside looking out, right? We're just a localization of the one awareness. We don't have our own mind inside looking out. It's just a localization of the one mind, the one activity. And you could ask yourself, which is understandable, if this is all the same one awareness, the same one mind, the same one activity of it, how does it appear as if I have my own activity, my own mind within myself, separate from the rest of this activity outside of me, reality? Well, it's no different than like how in a dream, you're really going to hate this dream analogy, or you're going to love it. No different than how in a dream, the dream character can have its own thinking, right? This, what appears to be its own mind, right? All while everything you're looking out at as the dream character is mind. You, the same one awareness, right? The dream character, the tables, the chairs, the other people in your dream, it's all the same one awareness, the same one activity, mind. All while the dream character is seemingly having its own thinking mind. It's because the entire reality, the entire awareness is mind. And within that, it can have infinite localizations of this activity, mind, this calculator, this conceptualizer. It makes perfect sense when you don't think about it. This is something you have to recognize for yourself. You have to recognize how mind is just the activity of awareness. And you'll go into this rabbit hole and recognize how awareness itself isn't arising specifically from within the body. Just like how in a dream, awareness is everything. In dropping that thinking mind and dropping that conceptualization, you relax back into just being awareness, a seeing. That's why it's important to be a seeing in meditation. Because so long as you're looking outward and you're thinking towards objects, your attention outward, attention outward. You have to just be awareness, just pure, to have that recognition most people are seeking, or whatever they want to call it, enlightenment, salvation, whatever you want to say it is. It's like knowing love. You can't think about love to know love. That's only going to make you want to research it more. You're only going to crave love more by thinking about it. To know love, you have to be love. It's the same with this. You have to just be to know this. Anything outside of just being is attention outward, away from it. When I say it, I mean that recognition. It's simple. It's like when you look up at the stars, at first you may not see the dolphin-shaped pattern. And then suddenly, oh, I recognize the dolphin-shaped pattern in the stars. Nothing about the stars changed. Nothing about reality changed. It's just a recognition. And you're seeing.
There is no spoon.
Spiritual tools